This week on Kentucky Afield, fishing provides a lot of opportunities. First, we're going to hop in the boat with Nick Ratliff and find out how Rippin' Lips has been opening doors for him.
The main thing that everyone looks at, I qualified for the Bassmasters Classic.
Next, who doesn't love a good meal? Jim Doom's showing us how he likes to fill the freezer with Bluegill and Redear.
Mighty fine eating, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Then, there are some great fishing opportunities right around the corner. Summertime is the best time for catching bass at night. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Just a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Hey, boy. That's a big rabbit.
Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie.
Mercy, Leo.
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
There it goes. Boom!
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Most Kentuckians know that the Commonwealth offers some powerhouses in college sports. But did you know that that also includes bass fishing? Well, Nick, I couldn't be more excited to be sharing the boat with you today. I appreciate you having us out.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
And you got a sweet ride right here. We're going to learn more about how you got this boat and what you're doing with yourself right now here in a little bit. But right now we're on beautiful Nolan Lake. And this is kind of a home lake for you. You don't live too far from here.
I've got 3 or 4 that I claim right now, but it's around the month of May, June. This is where you'll see me most of the time. So,
well, let's see if we can't find some fish and start putting them in the boat.
I see.
There you go.
You got these bass. They're set up like Tic Tacs. I've got 2 over top of the stump, 2 below the stump right there, and a couple more behind it. As we're getting up here on the break, there's a few more scattered out up through here.
And these are catchable fish.
These are catchable
They're
fish.
relating to the bottom,
Yeah.
close by to bait and some structure. These are fish that can be caught.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I just actually got hit. Oh, here we go. What we got there? A little bitty joker. Kentucky.
Next one.
You got one too. Hey, that's what we're looking for. Yours is about 3 times bigger than mine. There you go. You know what? So mine came in and hit it and missed it and came back and hit it again, which that's when you know you're dealing with some aggressive fish.
Yeah, see, he's all beat up. Already been up there and spawned.
Uh-oh. 2-minute penalty. 2-minute penalty. There you go.
Let's see if they'll get going now.
So Nick, you've been fishing for Campbellsville University now for 4 years, right?
4 years, yep. Just graduated.
But this year, you went and qualified to go fish in a national tournament. Tell me a little bit about that.
I qualified for the Bassmasters Classic. That all kind of started 2018 last year. I won the Carhartt College Series Bracket Championship. Every year there's 4 Bassmaster Regionals. You got to finish in the top 20% of normally a 250 boat field, and then the 25 or 30 or so boats from each one of those tournaments advances to the National Championship. And then the top 4 finishing teams from the National Championship move on to the bracket. And then you're split up into like a head-to-head March Madness kind of format. And the eventual winner of that was me last year, and I got a brand new Tundra and a brand new fully rigged nitro bass boat to use this year. Got all my entry fees paid for the Bassmaster Opens, and then also kind of the main thing that everyone looks at, I qualified for the Bassmasters Classic.
Who'd you fish against in the very last final round?
I fished against Nolan Miner from West Virginia.
Okay.
We were on Bassmaster Live. It was a pretty drama-filled day. I had a good early morning deal. I was fishing like isolated rocks. I had like almost a 10-pound limit in like the first 2 hours. We had a storm come in. Halfway through every day, we had a halftime period. The beginning of the second period, I ran a lot of my stuff and I just didn't catch him. I don't know if the storm messed him up or what happened.
Did he start catching fish?
Yeah, I didn't know it, but he caught like 13-4. He caught what was the biggest bag. I had the biggest bag the first day, but he caught what was the biggest bag in like the first 30 minutes back out there. I mean, he pulled up on a place and caught him every cast. So the whole second period, I didn't know it, but I was fishing from pretty good ways behind. And then with like 30 minutes left, I stopped back on my main stretch and culled 3 times in the last 30 minutes, one of them with like 10 minutes left, and I ended up winning by 4 ounces.
Wow.
Good one. Wow.
Yes!
How about this turn of events right here, my boy?
And that's why people love bass fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super exciting. And you never know, that one cast, that one last fish in the closing seconds of the tournament may be the difference between first and 10th place.
Yeah, for sure. The last one I culled up to like 12 3/4, and it was,
There you go.
there you go, more than what I had the first day. White
Look
bass.
at that, a white bass. Hey, now that is a good sized white bass right there. Too bad that one doesn't count, does it?
No, I don't.
It counts today, just
Yeah.
playing around, but in a bass tournament, that wouldn't help out any. Tell me a little bit about how college bass fishing, it's a little different than a normal NCAA sport.
Yeah, it is. Because we're sanctioned by Bass, FLW, Boat US, we don't have any rules that come down from like the NCAA. So we can receive money, the school can pay for stuff for us.
So if you would have won the Classic, you wouldn't have been like an amateur in golf that cannot receive payment. You could have received the check.
Yeah,
Alongside it, yeah.
All the checks I make throughout the year, they go back to me. While we're fishing for the college, Campbellsville does cover all of our expenses, offers us scholarships, gas, everything like that. So what we win during the actual college stuff either goes back to our account to a certain amount or goes to the university.
There we go. Little spot. I'll tell you what though, these spotted bass are aggressive and they're such a beautiful fish.
The cool thing about fishing, there's a few schools like us that offer scholarships. And the cool thing about that is everything's pretty much covered. We have team trucks, team boats, our fuel expenses are covered, our hotel, our eats. I mean, it really sets up nice, especially for someone that's aspiring to do it as a career. If you get to travel and fish all these places and don't have to spend a ton out of your wallet.
And it allows you the opportunity to get better at fishing and compete and represent your university.
For sure, that's the cool part, because there's a lot of people like me out there that, I played basketball, played football growing up, played baseball, but I probably wasn't ever good enough to go to college in any capacity and compete,
So for a kid who wants to get into bass fishing at the university, how would you tell them to get started?
The best way right now is for sure to start in the high school level and fish as much as you can in the high school
And
level.
we're so lucky here in Kentucky because it is a Kentucky High School Athletic Association sanctioned sport.
Yeah.
So if you have a high school that has bass fishing, that's the best way to get started on the competition side. And if your high school doesn't offer it, go talk to someone about starting up a program.
Yeah, it actually, high school fishing started my sophomore year at E-Town is when KHSAA sanctioned it.
Mm-hmm.
There was only a couple of us. We went to the athletic director, talked to him about it, and got our team started up. And I was fortunate enough. I made the state championship every year, kind of got my name out there. And high school fishing opened some doors for me.
Got it? Yeah. Well, we saw those fish down in there.
Floater spoon never made it to the bottom.
There you go. It's not a bad fish. There's a million of those here in this lake, isn't there?
There is.
Hello, I'm Chad Miles with Kentucky Afield, and I am in Clay County. We just walked in and found a couple of fawns. We're working with Joe McDermott here, and Joe's with the Department of Fish and Wildlife as well. And you're doing a study, and we located these fawns, but Tell everyone why it's important that we don't walk in and locate fawns by visually and messing with them.
Well, yeah, the only reason we're actually handling these fawns is because you know, we're doing this survival project, so we have to catch them. Now, a normal person may walk through a field and find a fawn and think that it's abandoned and maybe pick it up and take it to someone they know in Fish and Wildlife or a wildlife rehabilitator. That's not really what we want to happen. We want the regular person to just leave the fawns alone, because mother is just off in the wood line 9 times out of 10, and she's going to come right back.
Well, you guys even today, you have the mother collared, and you could use the telemetry and tell that she was there in the wood line. I'm sure she had eyes on us.
I'm sure she did.
She's keeping her safe distance, and she'll return to those fawn as soon as she knows it's safe to feed them. And if you stay with them for a long time, they can imprint on you, correct? And you don't want that to happen, right?
It's possible. That's why we try to minimize our presence on the scene. We try to wear gloves and remove the animals just enough so we aren't actually influencing where the animal selected it, you know, to hide.
So if you're walking through the woods and you happen to see a fawn this time of year, first off, don't touch it, right?
Don't touch it.
Secondly, don't hang around it, and remove yourself from that situation so that fawn has the greatest chance of survival, correct?
That's correct.
All right, well, thanks a lot. We hope that message gets out there, because we want our doe population and our deer population to continue to grow, and this will obviously help.
All right.
So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
People who fish know that May and June are the best months to bluegill fish, and I can't think of a better place to do that than Land Between the Lakes. We make it rough on a man. We call you up and say, hey, we'd like to do red ear fishing. And we give you a date or two and see if you can work with it. You never know what Mother Nature's gonna give you on that date, do you?
Mother Nature gave us a good day to try our skills.
Making it tough. We've had a lot of rain. These fish can be hard to target, can't they?
They can catch 2 or 3 off of one bed. Typically, that's go to another place. You know,
Yeah.
they don't seem to bed up in school in big of beds as bluegill.
Well, let's get after it and see if we can't catch some.
Sounds good to me.
A simple little jig head here. This is a 32nd ounce, and it's got what's called a bluegill bug. Increase your chances. You can never go wrong putting a little grub on there. So we're gonna put a little bit of live bait on the end. There you go. You fishing it right on the bottom?
Yeah. Creepy crawly.
All right. Just the other day we were red ear fishing, and we floated that little bait about just a little bit up off the bottom. They wouldn't touch it. When it hit the bottom of their bed,
Right.
nail it.
I'll be darned. Amazing how particular they can be.
They can, oh yeah, they can. Crazy. Did you get a bite already?
It did not feel like a bluegill. He was mad if he was.
How deep we got here? It's pretty shallow, isn't
Yeah, it is. 2.5, 3 feet, I think.
Okay. Oh, here we go. What do we got here? We got a double. Bluegill.
You got the boy and the girl.
Pretty fish. Pound for pound, still about the best fighting fish you can catch right there.
They are good on the table too.
Yep.
I'll clean him if you want him.
That one there big enough?
Yeah,
We'll keep a couple of them if you don't mind.
throw him right in there.
All right. And that one there, that fish there was nice enough to leave my grub on there.
You know, I like
There we
worms
go.
out of.
This is a little better one here.
Get the net. Get the net.
I don't know if this 4-pound test will hold him. That's a good
Nice
bluegill.
gill.
That's a really nice bluegill.
I was paying attention that time where you
When I
put your
cast
bait at, so
Yep.
I'm gonna go in there too.
it, get the big one. You can tell they're about to spawn. Look at him.
Yep.
Look at
You're
that.
supposed to aim those toward your buddy. I'm not your buddy. I'm your friend, not your buddy.
They're ready. That's when you know they are ready. What do you got there?
I like to eat fish too.
There you go. That thing is running.
I'm not sure what we've got here.
Thing is running up the bank, whatever it is. Oh my goodness. That's a bluegill. It don't take many of that size to have a fish fry, does it?
It does not. Well, it depends on how well you like to eat fish.
You can hold the potatoes if you get enough of those.
No matter how many times we do this, it's still fun to get a bite and catch a fish.
It's always fun. You know, what's really cool too is matching your tackle for the size of fish you're catching. I mean, you can go out and catch 50-pound catfish with a big, massive rod and reel and a winch to bring them in. And yeah, that's a ton of fun. It's a lot of fun. But you know what? You can come out here and match your rod and reel to what you're catching. Look how that thing's bending, that little rod and reel you've got. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Hey, we've got a red ear. Wow, look how much bigger they look. Here we go. Now, that is a good sized fish.
That is.
These fish have really not been prevalent in these lakes for a long, long time, have they?
No, they haven't. In 1986, how I can remember that, I don't know, but using a cast net and caught a small red ear. So from then on, it's just progressively got better.
But what year did you start targeting and catching these routinely?
The early 90s. It's 93, 94, I think, is the first time that I caught one big enough to tell that I had something different than a bluegill.
Yeah. And then from there, people really started targeting throughout the 2000s.
Right.
And I mean, they were taking these fish out of here in the carloads.
Yes.
And several years back, we put a limit on how many you can keep of the red ear.
Right.
What is the limit now here on Kentucky and Barkley?
20 fish.
Man, you won't find anything better than a skillet than that right there, will you?
No.
It's a great fish. What do you got there?
I don't know, but it feels pretty nice, actually.
Big old bluegill. Now that's a good size. That's a good size bluegill right there. You start looking at the difference in color and the size. That's a good size one. These get quite a bit bigger than this, but that's a pretty good one.
They do. Mighty fine eating, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Doesn't get any better.
My arms is tired catching bluegill.
I tell you what, how many really think we've caught today?
I'd be scared to say, actually.
Well over 100.
Hold it. Don't look. I think.
Uh-oh. Look what you've got. You got another red ear. Hey,
I do.
so probably 140 or 50 fish, and now this is only our third one. And we've caught them all exactly where we were catching the bluegill.
Right.
That's what makes targeting them kind of hard. You just got to cull through a bunch of bluegill to get there. Look at there. Pretty good, pretty fish, isn't it?
It is.
So worms, jigs. What else can you catch these on? Popeyes?
Just any kind of jig, really, you know. Hard to beat a worm and bobber, you know.
Yep. Nice fish.
Should we throw him back?
Nah. Too good. They taste too good. What's your favorite way to eat those? Deep fried?
Yeah, it's hard to beat deep fried. I mean, seared in a skillet with olive oil and a little salt and pepper.
Yeah, they're hard to beat.
Golden brown.
As the temperature begins to rise and the lakes start getting crowded, my favorite time to bass fish is at night. Well, Joe, you and I are out here tonight on beautiful Lake Cumberland doing one of our favorite things to do. That's bass fishing at night.
Yep.
So it's June, the water temperatures are getting up, you know, where you see people swimming and skiing. Bass have already spawned out. How do you like to catch fish this time of year?
My favorite thing to throw at night in June is spinnerbait.
Okay, when you say spinnerbait, there's a million different styles of spinnerbait. These are short arm spinnerbaits, right?
Yeah.
With a Colorado blade. And I'm also gonna be throwing one of these too. Now, we obviously have no idea what the fish are gonna start biting on. We got a couple different things that we're gonna try. You know, first thing a person may say if they're not a night fisherman when they look at these baits is, man, a lot of dark color.
Right.
It's not intuitive to throw really dark colors at night, but that's what the fish hit, isn't it?
Right. It seems like the darker the night, the darker the bait you want to throw.
We're gonna throw a little hair jigs, a biffle head. You know, you put some form of a creature bait on here. Again, really dark colors. And also, just Texas rig soft plastics can work really well too.
Yeah.
Brush hogs, worms,
Right.
all of it can work. It's really what you got confidence in, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's what I like about June night fishing. It seems like they're a little bit more aggressive. You can kind of throw a lot of different things, you know. As the summer gets going and August comes around, they kind of get deeper and more picky. So that's why my favorite time is June.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's find us our first point and go give it a try.
Alrighty, sounds good.
One tool in the box right there. We're sitting in 38 feet. We're fishing really in the 12 to 20 range, right?
Yeah, we kind of want to stay out around 30. I mean, you know, some points come out further, so you don't have to quite be out being 30.
Here we go.
Got one? Good one?
You might want to grab the net. Oh, I bet he's a smallmouth because he's jumping. He's burning some drag. He might not be. There you go. That's the way to get started. Not even dark yet. Now it ain't a real, not a real big fish, but you know what? We'll take it.
That's right.
I'm still throwing that bug because it's not completely dark. I'm gonna go to that spinnerbait here in a minute. So this told us something though. We know they're pulling and generating a lot of water between now and midnight. And this is about as sharp as a point as it's gonna get. So that fish was right dead on the point.
Yep.
So we learned a little bit before it even got dark. There we go. What we got here? This thing's close to the bank. What do we got there?
A little smallmouth.
Is it a smallmouth?
It's
a spot.
It's a good spot.
That is a good size spot. That joker right on the bank just annihilated that on the fall again. That's a pretty healthy fish.
Yeah, it is.
I'll tell you what, this is probably the prettiest bass of all the black bass species. I love the color in them. I mean, the white and the stripe.
They are pretty, but I'd still give it to smallmouth.
Well, you're a bit of a smallmouth snob like me.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, these things they're so fun to catch. What do you know? What do you got there?
It's a little smallmouth.
I knew there'd be a monster on that spot right there.
Actually, it's a spot.
Is it?
I couldn't see it, but yeah.
Those things are so aggressive. Say one thing about you and your family. You guys definitely hang out together and fish together. I've been at your all's place a couple of times and it'll be the dead middle of winter and everybody in the family's there and all of them are fishing.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite times to fish.
Yeah, oh yeah. Middle of the winter, the haunted household will be packed. Everybody's getting in a boat and going fishing. It's kind of cool.
So he loves the night fish is my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my dad, he loves it. He's telling me now he's moving down there. I got to come over and fish some of the Saturday night tournaments with him out of Star Point.
I didn't know he liked fishing so much. Fish the nighttime stuff.
No, he loves it. That's the one thing he said, that he loves the BFLs and stuff. He's glad I got into it, but he says he misses fishing at night with me.
Hanging out on the water, I'm sure it keeps you guys really, really, really close.
Yes. We actually all fished in the BFL series too together. So it was me, my dad, my brother Nick, and my brother Andrew. You know, we got a lot of friends like Adam and Brett and 4 other guys that we traveled together. And we all made the regional last year, all of us.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Here we go.
A better one?
This one's a little better.
Yep.
We got about 18-inch smallie.
You'd be close.
Let's see here.
He is probably 18.
It's not a bad fish.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a bass fisherman and you're in the middle of the summer, June, July, August, and you're sick of the traffic, you want to try to beat the heat, this is when you get out, isn't it? It's a lot of fun. Now,
tie one of those on.
Tie one of those on there. Obviously, he wanted it. Check that out.
Yeah.
Absolutely engulfed that thing. There you go. What a pretty fish. 19 inches. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out this beautiful smallmouth bass caught at Del Hollow Lake by Paul Abel. Congratulations. Here we have Mason Chitwood holding his very first squirrel ever taken in Hardin County. Congratulations. Here we have a really impressive bull elk taken by Buddy Surgisketter. This bull was taken in Breathitt County. It was a 6x5 taken with archery equipment. Check out this monster flathead catfish caught by Jameson Burton of Salyersville, Kentucky. He caught this while fishing in a farm pond in Hazel Green. Here we have Briley Gill with a nice doe she took with a muzzle loader. Congratulations. Summer is here and the kids are now out of school. Make sure you're making plans to get them outdoors. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.